I'm back. This is Extratime on Gagasi FM, proudly brought to you by your Hollywood Bet. Still 1-0 kule game ya Bafana against Lesotho. You want to do the intro, Mr. Makab?
I was actually speaking to these two wonderful gentlemen prior to the show, and I said to them, if I had a time machine, and I could turn the clock back, take them at their prime, bring them into the new footballing era, and there are many others like these two former players and now legends. It would be an agent's dream. They played at a time when, yes, of course, football was on the rise, but when I look at the opportunities today that are created for footballers both in this country and abroad, I often wonder why young footballers don't take their careers a little bit more seriously. Because if I had the God-given talent that they have, with the energy and grit and determination that I display in what I do in my life, I can tell you now, I would have played for Real Madrid and Barcelona. No, I'm being serious. But it's wonderful to have them both here. The one was tantamount to stopping strikers from scoring. The other one made a living scoring goals. How they're in the same room together, not giving each other bad looks, I'm not 100% sure, because I'm almost sure they played against each other many times, and I'm sure the man on my right kicked the man on my left more than once. But two wonderful ambassadors for the game. Morgan Gould, with an illustrious football career, and Brent Carelse, another man who set the South African scene alight and brought such excitement to the game. The only difference between the two is I managed the one's career, and I won't mention who, and I never managed the other one's career. Not for a want of trying, But I have a hidden agenda, which I won't discuss on the show. But it's great to welcome two really legends of the game and guys who are fantastic ambassadors for the game of football, Morgan Gould and Brent Carelse.
Guys, welcome to Extratime.
That was the best intro I've ever received in my whole entire existence. So, thank you, Mr. Makaba. It's always an honor being in your presence.
Not true.
I'm at home here, man.
I know.
Brent, how are you?
No, good evening, and good evening to your listeners as well.
Gents. This is your home as well.
And by the way, I said to both of them, the condition they're in, they can still play.
And they can still play.
It's ridiculous.
It's not like us. After football, we decided otherwise.
What do you mean us?
After rugby, we decided otherwise.
Okay.
After soccer, you decided otherwise. Gents, thank you so much for joining us, Namhlanje. And I know, Wuti, we are talking about MTN 8, and we're building up to a final, which is next week. But you guys played in the biggest stage, Makuluma, about cup finals as well. And I'm looking at this game, a big game between the Steelies and also against the Orlando Pirates in the corner, which is a huge relief to coach Steve Barker, because we know what happened at Moses Mapeta last season. But if you look at these two teams, do you think it's a revenge for Coach Steve Barker going to this encounter?
Well, I would think he would want revenge. But I think he knows that you don't go out wanting to play the game that way. Steve he's quite experienced and he knows what he's doing, obviously. And I think he knows as well he's got a totally different new team this season again. So he has to obviously build up with that. I think, yes, I would like to see them overcome Pirates, but let's see what happens on the 13th.
That's the Cape Townian talking.
You know the story. But Morgan, what do you think will be the key for either side going to this encounter?
It's going to be very tricky because, look, one, revenge, two, complacency. And I think football, it's a new wave of football. You need to play the game, not the occasion. And the occasion is going to demand from you. Because the occasion is the build-up to the game. And on the day, the game is going to be played. And I think the team that has the nerve of steel will will obviously lift this beautiful trophy, and football would be won at the end of the day, because football has to be the win at the end.
Yeah.
As much as there's so much at stake, there's bragging rights, there's the banter that's going on, but most definitely a great game of football. My friend already here and my fellow colleague, my opponent in some games, he's already said, Stellenbosch, he would like for Stellenbosch to take it, but football is, there's no therefores, and it could only be played on the pitch. We have our hope and ambitions.
1830.
There's always the talk of the experience of a team like Orlando Pirates. They've been there, they've done it. Stellies, on the other hand, yes, they have won a cup, and they've been to cup finals, but we have a situation here where Pirates have the experience of playing in such finals. Stellies determined to put their name on the trophy, and I think Brent said it, where if you go out with the intention of having this as a game where you see revenge being taken place, emotions take over, and you can't play the occasion. You've got to play the game. So I think Steve Barker will be trying to quieten them down and keep them calm. You don't have to motivate teams when you're playing in a cup final. What do you think, Morgan? And I'll ask Brent the question afterwards. What do you think could be the tipping point in this game? Would it be the midfield tussle? Would it be the fact that Stellies could keep it nice and tight and hopefully hit on the counter? Well, how do you see it playing out?
I think if I put on my football hat, it's going to be the fierce attack of Stellies, with the ability to contain themselves in the midfield, because the Pirates are going to come with the dominance of play, but Stellies will have that grit and grind to say, let's take them all the way. They look at the situation right now, how many players do they have in a national team, analyze that and think, okay, their legs are a bit heavy. What if we take them to the 12th or the 13th round? Are they going to last? It's also and work emotionally on their mindset, and because it's emotional game. You need you need to think, and you need to be, for you to think, you need to be fresh, and that's I think Stellies have the facilities to do that, and this, how they analyze opponents and how they look at the smaller details that we overlook. They look very deeply into it.
Brent, obviously we spoke about the fact that every single year their top players leave the club for greener pastures, and that's going to happen at any football club that doesn't have big financial muscle. It happens worldwide. It's difficult to hang on to your best players. Icky Reyners, do you think he has been the difference between Stellies struggling a little bit this season in the goal scoring department? And is there somebody else that can step into his shoes on the day and take over that mantle?
I think Ikram Reyners sort of cemented his place as a top striker and a finisher in South Africa, and I think he did really well for Stellies. And I don't think they've replaced him as yet. They've tried a few options like your De Jongs, your even your Devon Tituses, Sanele Barnes, Mojela. But I think one of those players, I think if they hit their straps, they can maybe become the new Ikram Reyners. But I definitely try and look in the market, or look in the, where I can get just a player that puts the ball in the net.
Morgan, Brent mentioned Sanele Barnes, Mojela, Andre de Jong, and one other, Devon Titus. I don't think any of the four, maybe Mojela is closest to being a genuine nine, even if it's a false nine. I think the others are more players who like to play off
a nine.
Yes.
It's true. I think they still genuinely need that nine that will hold up the ball, because de Jong likes drifting in between.
Correct.
And I think since Van Veek's left, I think he's also opened up another gap where De Jong is filled in. Yeah, Mojela, but they definitely need I thought Marvin Boichi would have been that type of player. Cupido is a bit, he comes and he goes, and I think
he hasn't been consistent.
Yeah, he also still needs to find himself and find himself in the system. And also think moving from Cape Town Spurs to just across the road to Stellenbosch wasn't really a move that was needed. He needed something that's going to test him to the next level.
Yeah.
And I think comfort and being in your comfort zone. So I think, they still do need that out-and-out number 9 that's going to give them... he can play with his back towards the goal and feed off or feed for the players that are running on, like the Mojelas.
You said something about the youthful energy combined with the heavy legs. And you're right, because Bafana are playing 2 games in a short space of time. And the second game, don't forget, is at Nigeria, where it's a crucial game for us. If we can pick up the 3 points here and we're still leading 1-0 and looks like we're dominating the game, then it just takes a little bit of pressure off us and puts more pressure on Nigeria. But it's still going to be a massive game. Now, imagine and I see the majority of the Pirates players are playing. So it's not as if they're being rested. You think Hugo Bruce is a Stellenbosch supporter based on his selection. Joking. But do you think maybe the youthful energy of Stellies and that ability to run for 90 minutes could tip the scales and could be maybe a serious deciding factor?
Yeah. I think most definitely it would be, because the only thing that would not give them what they want to get is the altitude. Yeah. It's going to be a factor, whether we like it or not. That they need to adapt to as soon as possible. Yeah. But obviously, Stellies also gets to crazy temperatures, and they definitely need to use everything that they have, because the hunger, I can tell you, the coach is a motivator, and you should know.
Absolutely.
Steve Barker is a motivator.
Unbelievable.
He'll definitely tell them, none of you are in the national team. We are nothing. However, we are in the final. How come? Show them what you're made of.
Correct.
And the psychological twist of that is gonna drive. It's gonna drive the boys. And he's just got this way with words.
And don't forget, they beat us Skikune United, that are riding high, unbeaten in the league.
Yep.
Beat them over 2 legs. I think it was 4-1 on aggregate.
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
3-1 on aggregate. So you're looking at a situation now where that must have given them the belief that they can go the whole way. Young players, who do you see? I know we know Rele Mofokeng. Do we see any young players, Brent, on either side that could make a serious name for themselves in this cup final?
I think definitely Devon Titus.
Yeah.
I think if you look even last season, how he's performed and how he's grown over the years, I think he's actually taken Stellenbosch onto his shoulders and said, look, I want to be the main man in this team. He's played every match for Steve, I think the last 3 seasons as well. Yeah, he's in a match that he hasn't played in, but I think he's one player.
Can I interrupt there and just tell you that we do statistical analysis on South African players with the data scientists that we have. The top 3 players ranked last season in this order was Rele Mofokeng, Lucas Ribeiro and Devon Titus. Maybe the third place person would have surprised a few people, but Devon Titus was right up there with Rele and Lucas. Yeah.
Phenomenal. I think football has gone
that's crazy.
It's gone pear-shaped, but good pear-shaped, because it's branching out to new avenues, and it's always nice to hear these type of records or stats or data that as you were telling us earlier on, you can literally just sit there and wait and then get the right pathway.
Correct.
And that's awesome. It's phenomenal.
Just one question from my side. We've seen the Orlando Pirates not starting well this season in the past few games, but it seems as if they're gaining in momentum as well. Do you think the coach is off the hook, building up to
never
to the final?
You're off the hook until they fire you, man. You're never off the hook until they fire you.
But
I
it seems
know
as
that
if he's
personally.
getting. I'm sorry, coach.
I walked away from coaching football because you're never off the hook until they fire you, my man.
But you know, it's been 4 or 5 games.
Until they fire him, that's the only time he's going to be off the hook.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share a crazy story. I was a Pirates in '94, as you know, as the coach, and we won the league that year. And the following year, we were second. We had so many games in hand. There wasn't FIFA calendar weeks in those days. We had 7 games in hand, but we were second. Cape Town Spurs, who eventually went on to win it, they were on top. And we played a Coca-Cola Cup final. And leading up to that Coca-Cola Cup final, lost 1 game in the league, unbeaten in the Champions League. Won the Erisa Spectacular, beating Sundowns and Chiefs on the same day, and had progressed to the semi-finals or final of the MTN 8. I can't quite remember that. So we were on high. We got beaten by Bidvest Wits in the Coca-Cola Cup final. Benson Otiti was the guy that scored the winning goal. We dominated the game. We couldn't get the ball in the net. That was on a Saturday. On a Monday, the chairman called me into the office, and let me tell you, I had a great relationship with Dr. Khoza. Called me into the office to ask me what was going wrong with the team.
1 game.
1 game.
All it takes is 1 game.
That's all it takes.
Yo, 1840, this is Extra Time on Gagasi. I'm not putting much pressure on you guys, but let me ask. Can the Orlando Pirates win it?
Predictions.
3 or 4 times?
That's
Don't
not
be
a
soft.
prediction.
Don't be soft.
Come on, Mike.
Who is going to win it?
4 times in a row. So do you see Pirates winning 4 times?
I can, but I don't want to. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Look, they've got a great team, but I think Stellies deserve it.
Yeah.
The way they played last season, they play with a lot of heart, a lot of determination. So I would like to see Stellies win it, and it's also something good for Cape Town.
Yeah. Yeah. Morgan?
My heart has something, my mind has something, but I think I'm going to go with my liver now. I'll give my liver opportunity
Which is?
to
Yeah.
flip, man. I've never been more under pressure like this. You have the best of the best in the building yourself.
No. You performed well under pressure. Grapes. Also, you also think I'm a grapes? Or?
Yeah, we're dropping the grapes.
How?
We're gonna look. Firstly, I'm also been selected to be a representative for Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
That's why I said my heart.
Yeah.
I have to be with Stellenbosch, but
Yeah.
my, the mind is really
Somewhere else.
Yeah. But I think Stellenbosch, the underdogs. But look, Pirates are going to act like the underdogs here because over the past few seasons they've cup specialists.
Yeah.
How can you act like an underdog? So I'll give it to the new underdogs for now.
Yeah.
Stellies.
Which Stellies will win. Mike, your prediction?
I'm going to go for Stellenbosch.
As well?
Yeah. I just think that Pirates have had too many disruptions.
Yeah.
And they had the problem now with Shame, and it's terrible with the accident that happened after the Chipper United game, and that's disruptive in more ways than one. And thank God everybody is safe.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that the team has been away. The team has been away because I think there's 5 or 6 or 7 players
That's
in
a
that
complete
squad.
team, yeah.
That's your complete, and it's the core of your team.
Yeah.
So your preparation is going to be limited.
Yeah.
I just think that everything points in favor of a Stellies win.
It's a stellar situation.
Should Stellies win this year's M10 8 final? Gents, thank you so much for coming through. This is your home. Brent, this is your home as well. Not only today, but when you're in Durban, don't hesitate to call us.
Yeah, no, I'll speak to Mike. I'm looking for something.
When again, Sasha Lot. But last question.
Yeah.
Last question. Out of this,
Yes.
just one question.
Yeah.
Kanye Somaya joining Kaizer Chiefs?
Absolutely phenomenal.
Has it happened?
Yes.
Good.
Absolutely phenomenal. I think he's making another circle, because myself, Fabian, now it's the Mayos. making a holistic circle where the father and the son plays. So it's not just a dream move for the family, but it's breaking another generational curse where in the past, I'll make example, Bamuza Son and Jomo.
Yeah.
Bamuza not couldn't, but it was too much for him.
Yeah.
So now it's another one of those where someone can live and do something phenomenal for their family, but great one for him. Absolutely excited for him and for the team. It's looking good, and even the way they're signing, they've been patient. They delayed, but they were not denied.
I'll tell you what's also interesting with Chiefs, and Mamelodi Sundowns have done that successfully over the seasons. You would have seen that a large number of their new signings have been brought in very slowly.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen Nshinga. We still haven't seen Ethan Chislett, Lebo Mabowi. So when you look at that and you see how they're slowly being integrated into the Chief setup, it augurs well for the future. That's good planning.
18:45. This is Extra Time on Gagasi. Gents, thank you so much for coming through.